and welcome to the PMR studio. For today's Pilates Express session, I will be guiding you through an upper body workout. For this session, you will need either a yoga block or to be sitting on a chair next to a desk as we begin this session. So that way you can extend your arm, your forearm, over the desk with your wrist joint hanging off the edge of that desk. Okay, so again, either that yoga block for the wrist warm up or sitting next to a desk, something that you can have a hard surface for that. And then after our warm up, we will be including weights for this session. Feel free to use whatever form of weights you have. If you do not have a set of dumbbells available, you're always welcome to use a set of cans or a household object that would be equivalent to about 1 to 2 pounds. So keep those near you. Go ahead and get positioned for our wrist warm up, and we'll go ahead and get started. So go ahead and turn your yoga block lengthwise, or if you're sitting at that desk, go ahead and extend your forearm so the wrist joint is hanging off. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and press your feet into the floor, grow taller through your spine. With your opposite hand, I want you to go ahead and grasp onto the chair that you're sitting on really tight, right? From here, again, pressing those feet into the floor, we're going to begin with seeing how much wrist extension we have. So squeeze the fingertips together before we begin. And if this is easier, you can always make a fist. Just go ahead and extend the wrist down. So inhale, sip air through the nose. And keep sipping. We're going to move the pinky in towards the midline. Up, we're going to see what wrist flexion we have. So fingertips stay together, pointing towards the ceiling. Do not bend the fingertips. We're moving down towards the thumb. You'll notice that there's less movement there, less range, typically towards the thumb. Pause when you get to the bottom, and we're going to travel back the same way we came. So squeeze those fingertips together. Keep sipping air through your nose. Again, joint mobility is quite the opposite for a breathing technique than Pilates. So those shallow breaths is what you're aiming for. Fingertips point down towards the floor. Pause when we get back to start. And return that same direction. So moving towards the midline. Traveling slow like you're moving through a sticky bucket of honey. All right, so we're creating that force, that resistance within our body, so that way we are able to create a change within that joint capsule. Please note that the space in your forearm and your elbow should not be rotating throughout these movements. Okay, so the forearm's not rotating, only the wrist joint. So we're moving, traveling back around. One more time, fingertips up, maxing out flexion. We want big, juicy circles here. Fingertips point towards the floor, going back towards the thumb. Squeeze those fingertips together, moving nice and slow like you're moving through that sticky bucket of honey. Fingertips travel to the side, and fingertips are maxing out extension, pointing towards the floor. Relax. Nice work. So from here, go ahead and move the yoga block to the other knee, or bring your opposite hand on top of that desk, okay, whatever your layout is right now. I want you to go ahead and start by seeing what extension you have available. All right, the goal is to have at least 90, but more is desirable. That will help you have less pinching sensation and any uncomfortability while you're doing handstands, planks, push-ups, whatever moves require that wrist flexion extension, right? So again, we see how much extension we have to begin with. You may notice a difference from right to left. Press the feet into the floor. Go ahead and grow taller through your spine, right? Go ahead and grab onto the chair with your opposite hand. From here, we inhale, sip that air through your nose, those shallow breaths, squeeze the fingertips together. We're moving towards the midline, so towards the body, so pinky side. Bring those fingertips up and traveling towards the thumb. Do not bend the fingers. Go slow. Again, you're always welcome to make a fist. Pause When you get down, fingertips pointing towards the floor into wrist flexion and, wrist extension. Moving back up towards the thumb side. Please note there is less movement, less range typically towards that thumb side. Traveling up, nice and slow through that sticky bucket of honey. Back down towards the floor and repeat towards the pinky side. Squeeze those fingers together or maintain that fist. Again, we're making sure this forearm is not rotating, okay? So that elbow crease there is staying facing upwards towards the ceiling. Fingertips travel back down towards the floor and repeat back towards the thumb side, up, seeing what wrist flexion we have, down, pause at the bottom. One more time towards the pinky, up, towards the thumb side, and pause when the fingertips get back towards pointing to the ground. Beautiful. Relax. Nice work. All right, so from here, you can go ahead and set your yoga block down. You can stay seated on our chair. So from here, we're going to move into our shoulder rotations. To prep our shoulder, we just prepped our wrist. We're going to prep our shoulders here before we move into upper body with the weights. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and bring those shoulders up, down, and back a few times, relaxing the shoulders. From here, let's go ahead and hold on to your chair with your left hand. So really grasp that chair, press your feet into the floor, grow taller through your spine. From here, I want you to flip your palm out so that way your thumb is pointing back. Let's go ahead and see how much external rotation we have within the right shoulder. From here, you begin with a nice large inhale through the nose, and you're going to continue sipping that air through your nose. So shallow breaths. So we begin with the back of the hand facing the thigh here. So we inhale, keep sipping air through your nose as you travel, bringing that hand across the front of the body. So you're going to bring it out to the side. Keep traveling. Don't flip the palm. Don't rotate. We're bringing it up. Now, once you get to your shoulder, you may notice your arm stops. Rotate the palm back, facing the other way. So we're moving into internal rotation. Now, your thumb should be pointing towards the ground. Bring it back. Once the back side of your hand touches your thigh, you're going to bring it back the same way you came. So bringing it back. Now you're going to rotate it once you can't go anymore. Flip the palm back. So now your thumb is again pointing out and away. Sweep the hand in front of you. Squeeze those fingertips together. Coming across the front of the body. And we're back where we started. So your thumb is pointing back. Squeeze those fingertips together. Press the feet into the floor. Grow taller through your spine. And we're traveling back in that same way we came. So across the front of the body. Beautiful. Once you cannot clear your ear, you feel stuck here, that's when you are going to flip the palm back into internal rotation. So your thumb is now pointing down towards the ground. Nice big open juicy circles is what we are aiming here for in shoulder rotation. Beautiful. Pause. Sipping air through the nose through this continual movement. And once you come to the top of that move, you're going to flip your palm the opposite direction. Again, into external rotation, slowly, like you are resisting something as you come down. So pretend you have something on your arm. You're going to slowly resist that. Beautiful. Your forearm is facing the ceiling. Pause. Relax. Nice work. Bring those shoulders up, down, and back one time. We're going to grasp onto the side of the chair with that right arm now and work on our rotations on the left side. So go ahead and flip that left hand externally. So we're externally rotating there in that humeroglyneal joint. It's a mouthful right there. So your thumb is pointing back. Squeeze the fingers together. Grow taller through the spine. Press your feet into the floor. Beginning with a nice inhale through the nose, sipping air in. And go ahead and travel across the front of the body. Nice, big, juicy arm circles here, all right? Beautiful. Keep searching for more external rotation. Now, once you feel like you cannot move any farther in external rotation, you're going to flip the palm the opposite direction and keep traveling down and back. Now, the back side of your hand should be facing your thigh. Pause. Begin with an inhale. Keep inhaling, sipping the air in, traveling back the same way we can, and we're going to rotate, searching for more external rotation as you move. Okay, so your pinky side now is facing forward, traveling across the front of the body. Sweep the hand in front and returning back to where we started. Beautiful. And repeat. Sip the air through your nose and traveling again across the front of the body. Press those feet into the floor. Keep seeing if you can search for more external rotation, which means your thumb is going to keep pointing down. Okay. Again, we're moving nice and slow, like we're moving our shoulder through a sticky bucket of honey. Okay, and we're going to flip the palm facing the back so your thumb is pointing down. Beautiful. Again, we're resisting as we come down. Back of the hand touches the thigh and return back to setup position. Stay focused. Don't lose the breath work pattern here. Sipping air in through the nose, searching for more external rotation. Squeeze those fingers together. The hand travels across the front of the body and returning back to setup position. Nice work. Go ahead and do a few shoulder rolls here. Nice. All right, friends. So that concludes our rotations there for the wrist and for the shoulder. Now, as we properly warm up the rotational movement within the joints before we work out, that will give us a better ability to have a more efficient workout through those joints specifically. So go ahead and move your bench or your chair to the side, as you will not need that for the remainder of this session. You can move your yoga block if you have that as well. Grab on to your weights and we'll go ahead and move into the workout portion of this session. So I want you to go ahead and meet me in the middle of your mat. Bring those shoulders up, down, and back. All right, heels together, toes apart. From here, let's go ahead and flip the forearms facing forward so the back of your hand is touching your thighs. Holding on to those weights if you choose to use them in this session. We're going to start with an inhale through the nose as you plie, bringing the arms up into bicep curl, and exhale to return back to setup position. So be sure to evenly distribute the weight throughout the entirety of the foot. All right, so check in with your toes. We want to make sure the weight is not rounding in towards the big toes. Okay. As you come up to the top, be sure to engage your abdominals and glutes. Warming up the knee and ankle flexors here while adding in a bicep curl. Keep those elbows into your side. Grow taller through your spine. Beautiful. Making sure to include that lateral breathing technique. For 3, for 2, and 1. Nice work. From here, go ahead and bring those weights in front of you. We're going to come down into plie and we're going to pulse. So keep those weights extended with the fingertips facing the ground. Stand tall, finding length through the spine. And we're pulsing. Try not to hold your breath. Inhale through the nose, expand the lungs with air. Exhale through the mouth. For 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and stand tall. So from here, you're going to step out to second position plie with a bicep curl and come back in. Step out and come back in. So heels apart, heels together, heels apart, heels together. Making sure as you step apart, you tuck your tailbone under, okay, to avoid any irritation or discomfort through the low spine. Check in with your spine, make sure you are not rounding forward, right? Inhale to come down, exhale, press up. As you come up with heels together, make sure to engage your abdominals and glutes. Again, working our knee and ankle flexors here while strengthening the biceps. One more time in both directions. Nice work. From here, step it out to that second position plie. From here, we're going to bring the weights out to the side as you come up. So stand tall, bring the weights together, bring the weights apart as you come up, engaging those abdominals and glutes. Again, making sure the mid to upper spine is not rounding forward as you plie. Also, trying your best to maintain a neutral pelvis zone. Engaging the quads at the top. Inhale and exhale, stand tall. For 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna pulse and hold the arms out to the side. Making sure to not hold your breath. For 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. From here, let's go ahead and hold on to those weights. Come onto your mat. Go ahead and stack the knees under the hips and the hands underneath the shoulders. Go ahead and tuck your tailbone under into a neutral pelvis. Press the mat away from you, retract the neck back. Inhale to prepare. Go ahead and exhale as you lift the right arm up and bring it back to setup. Exhale, lift that right arm up, bring it back to setup. You can always set that left weight to the side if that begins to feel uncomfortable to you. Reach along the arm as you lift and lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. One more time, lift, lower, lift it up, and pulse the weight up towards the ceiling. We're pulsing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Roll the weight to the opposite hand. Press the mat away from you. Maintain that same positioning of the spine and the pelvis. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale to lower. Moving at a nice steady pace that feels comfortable to you. Nice work. Last time. Lift and lower. As you lift, we're going to pulse that weight up towards the ceiling. We're pulsing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. From here, let's go ahead and come down onto our stomachs. Keep the weights with you. Now you can do this portion either with or without weights, whichever feels best to you today. Okay. So from here, I want you to go ahead and keep the legs into mat distance apart, and arms are mat distance apart as well. Begin by relaxing the neck, bring the shoulders back into that shoulder girdle. Tuck the tailbone under. From here, I want you to inhale as you engage your abdominals and glutes. As you exhale, we're going to lift both arms up and lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Beautiful. As you lift, I want you to be able to pinch or squeeze in between your scapula there. Not a very high movement off the ground, right? But strengthening those stabilizing muscles around the scapula. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. One more time. Nice work. From here, either with or without the weights, you're going to bring the arms into goal post. Bring those shoulders up, down, and back. Engage your abdominals and glutes. Tuck your tailbone under. Lift and lower in goal post. Again, we lift, squeeze in between the scapula, and lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Beautiful. As we incorporate this lateral breathing technique, this allows the muscles to be well oxygenated, okay? Allows you to move more fluidly. Last time. Nice work. Go ahead now, and either again with or without the weights, bring the arms and legs mat distance apart. From here, you can go ahead and inhale to prepare. Tuck that tailbone under. As you exhale, we're going to lift everything up and lower back down. So into Superman. Again, feel free to set those weights down if that does not feel comfortable to you, or if you feel any pulling or nagging sensation within the shoulder blade there. So inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift the head, neck, and chest. Arms and legs come with it. Strengthening the muscles on the posterior side of our body right now, or on the back side. As we do this, you might find that you stand a little taller, right, with a little better posture there. Pulling those shoulder muscles up, down, and back naturally as we take time to strengthen those on a regular basis. Right. Last time. Beautiful. Nicely done. Go ahead and bring the arms into the side. Tuck the toes under. From here, go ahead and grab onto those weights. Tuck that tailbone under. Stack the hands underneath the shoulder blades. Knees underneath hips. From here, inhale as you bring the right weight in towards your pec. Exhale as you lower. Inhale, bring the left weight in towards your pec muscle. And inhale, lower, and repeat. So alternating rows here. Keep that tailbone tucked. You should feel the engagement there within your TVA or your transverse abdominis, your lower abdominals there. Keep that neck retracted back. You're doing a great job. For 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. From here, I want you to go ahead and alternate step out plank. Inhale, step out your right leg. Exhale, step out your left leg. Inhale, bend your left knee. Exhale, bend your right knee. And repeat. So step out right, step out left, bend the left, bend the right. Nice work. Making sure to pay special attention to the pelvis, right? Want to make sure it's not rocking back and forth, trying your best to maintain that tucked tailbone positioning. One more time, step it out right, left, bend the left knee, bend the right knee. Nicely done. At this point, if you need a sip of water, go ahead and grab that. From here, I want you to go ahead and grab onto one weight. Extend your right leg out. Your left knee is stacked underneath your left hip. From here, we bring the weight overhead. Inhale to prepare. Lower down. Exhale, twist or rotate from the side. Inhale, return back to seated position. So the weight remains overhead. Again, you can do this really any of these moves, either with or without the weight, whichever feels most comfortable to you today. Anchoring your foot into the mat. We're looking here for some thoracic rotation, or that rotation throughout your mid-spine. Also helping to mobilize the rib cage bit. For 3, 2, and 1. Nice. From here, go ahead and bring the weight down, leg in, extending the opposite leg out. Bring the shoulders up, down, and back. And repeat. Inhale, reach overhead. We lower down. Exhale, rotate to the side. And return back to sit up. Press the weight up and away from you. Anchoring your opposite foot into the mat to aid in your balance and stability. For 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Lower the weight. From here, you're going to shoot the legs out onto the mat and come down onto your back in the supine position. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and grab onto both of those weights, extend them in the air above you. Go ahead and tuck your tailbone back as you bring your right leg to tabletop. Bring your left leg to tabletop. From here, you can go ahead and bring those weights together. Extend them. Inhale as you lower the right foot towards the mat. Exhale to lift back to tabletop. At the same time, we can lower the weights towards the head for a skull crusher here. So inhale, lower the right foot. Exhale, return to sit up. Inhale, lower the left foot. Exhale, return to sit up. So the goal is to maintain stability throughout the pelvis. Okay. Beautiful. So we should have, if you are choosing to do neutral pelvis here, the space of a blueberry underneath your low spine. Or you can also have imprinted spine as well, which means all of your ribs are pressing down into the mat. Inhale to lower. Exhale, return to sit up. One more time on both sides. Nice work. Beautiful. From here, go ahead and bring one foot to the mat and then the other foot. Setting the weights to the side, go ahead and cross your left foot over your right thigh. You can hold on to the back of the thigh for an even deeper stretch, stretching out our glute and our piriformis hip muscle here. Nice work today. Holding on to this stretch for 3, 2, and 1. Lower the foot to the mat and repeat on the opposite side, letting that knee bow out, holding on to the back of the thigh for an even deeper stretch. That feels good to you. Relax the neck. For 3, 2, and 1. Bring the foot to the mat, uncross the legs, coming onto our side. All right, let's end this session with a few neck stretches, all right, or neck rotations. So again, with adding in some joint mobility work to close out our session. So go ahead and relax the shoulders down away from the ears and keep your hands at your sides if that feels comfortable, or on your knees. So from here, I'm going to grow taller through your spine. Go ahead and tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, begin to sip the air through the nose. You're going to scrape your chin towards the opposite shoulder here. Pause, bring the ear to shoulder, and slowly move the neck back into extension. So you're going to come back, The ear should come to the other shoulder. Pause. Bring the chin to the shoulder, and then you're going to scrape your collarbone here. Back to center. Pause. Again, moving towards that shoulder that we just came from. Ear to shoulder. Bringing the neck back into extension. Ear to shoulder. Bring the chin to shoulder. And again, you're going to scrape your chin towards your collarbone, back to center. And move the same way we just came, back to the shoulder. Bring the ear to the shoulder. Neck extension. Ear to shoulder. Chin. And go ahead and scrape the chin back towards the midline. Beautiful, relax. Nice work today. Thanks so much for joining me for this upper body session. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did, and I can't wait to see you in the next class. Bye-bye.